Hi everybody, Laura here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited to be a part of the Sugar and Spice release blog hop, and I have a festive project to share with you. I'll be featuring the beautiful Cardinal, the Ho Ho Holiday Greens. These are the luggage tags, and then lastly, I'll be using the Modern Loop embossing folder. I'm going to start with the Modern Loop embossing folder, and I have a panel of Buttercream cardstock cut a little bit smaller than an A2 size card, and I'm going to emboss this so it's going to give a nice textural background, a little bit of interest, but not introducing another color. Okay, so I'm going to start from the back to the front. The next element is one of the luggage tags. So I just pulled one out, kind of seeing if it's the right size. I don't want a tag that's too big or too small, and this one was perfect. And then there's also some different hole sizes and shapes you can use. I chose the larger of the little circles, and I'm just centering that on my tag and then taking this off camera, run it through my die cutting machine. And there you have an easy, quick and simple custom luggage tag. Okay, so that's going right there. Next is the beautiful Cardinal. This is a gorgeous bird die. I love a Cardinal for the holidays. It's nice and bright and red. I also have a little bit of a soft spot towards Cardinals because when I was growing up in Illinois, we were about 2.5 hours from St. Louis. So I've been to several St. Louis Cardinals baseball games. And I remember growing up, you know, with the Cardinals t-shirt, Cardinals hat, you get the big, you ever seen those big, huge blow-up bats? I used to have one of those baseball bats. not the bat that flies in the attic. I'm talking about a baseball bat. Anywho, yeah, Cardinals. When I think of Cardinals, I think of the St. Louis Cardinals. But our next door neighbors, I just remember this so vividly. They were diehard Cub fans. Diehard Cub fans. It's very divided in Illinois. You know, you're either a diehard Cub fan, or if you're in the South, probably a Cardinal fan. Anyway, I'm die cutting this Cardinal out of different shades of red, some black for the face, and then here I'm doing a little bit of yellow that can go for the beak and behind the eye. And I'm just kind of mimicking the design on the packaging. I also did some dark chocolate brown for the bird legs. Yeah. Okay, then now for this yellow part, there wasn't a die for this, so I'm just kind of finagling this, cutting it down, trimming it, because you really only need the yellow to go where the beak is and behind the eye. And so now I'm gluing on this black portion that goes across the whole face, gluing that right on top of this yellow bit to make sure that the beak and the eye show through. And then I'm going to just trim off that excess stuff hanging off. I think it's all going to get covered up anyway, but okay, so you have the black, the yellow, the bright red. I believe that bright red is Poppy cardstock by Concord 9th. The darker red is Cranberry. And then that lighter shade of red is Pimento. So these are all Concord 9th colors. But you know, if you're anything like me, you probably have a drawer or a bin or a basket full of scraps of solid color cardstock. And you could really use anything that you have. You could even make this bird blue. You can do, you know what? You just do whatever tickles your fancy. I love how there's two different wings. So you could really get couple different contrasting, you know, tones there. So there you have the Cardinal. Look at it. So festive for the holidays. That's going to go right in the middle on that luggage tag. So we're kind of getting the lay of the land here. Now we're going to add some greenery, the Ho Ho Holiday Greenery. I think that this Sugar and Spice release just came out a day ago, and I've already used this Ho Ho Holiday Greenery at least 4 times. So I can attest that this is a staple. And it's this particular die, this little, what do you call it? Spiny, swaggy pine die. I just love it. And I'm doing some different shades of green. I think it's like artichoke and grasshopper. Again, Concord 9th colors. But I love this particular, is that pine? I don't know what it is, but I like the skinny swagginess of it. I am lacking descriptions for holiday greenery, but I like to mix and match the different greens and different thicknesses. And then we have here a berry branch, and then I'm just throwing some in. I'm probably going to have more than I need, but we'll see what happens. Now for the berries, there's a die in the Ho Ho Holiday Greenery for some berries. I decided to do berries in all the different colors that the Cardinal was in. So we're using little scraps of pimento, poppy, and cranberry to get berries in all the colors. You know, why not? Okay, another thing you could do, enamel dots for the berries, or sequins or gems for the berries, or just put the red here like I'm doing and then top it with glossy accent. I'm surprised I didn't do that, but I just kept it all matte. So using a little bit of this Positively Perfect Craft Glue Mini, a little dot of glue, and popping on these berries. Don't they look fun with the different shades, you know? What have I been doing all my life? Putting the same color of berry on. It looks so good, multi-toned. Multi-tone, it's the year of the multi-tone berry. I'm just going to say it. Okay, there you have it. This is going to tie in very nicely with our holiday color scheme. Now for a sentiment, Holiday Duo. Again, I think I've used this set maybe 4 times. It's a go-to. Kathy Zilski. I texted her as soon as I was prepping the reveal, and I said, this right here, this word die set is perfection. I don't know what it is about it. I think it's the way the Y, the way that little swoosh on the Y carries out. It just gives it the little extra. And Kathy just always slays it with her font choices. Very simple, clean. You're going to use it again and again. So we got Joy, and the other one in the CZ Holiday Duo is Mary. Also a great one, but a little bit longer. I needed something short. Do not forget the tittle. So there's a tittle. The tittle is the dot on the J or the dot on an I. Anywho, okay, a little bit of Big Mama foam tape. Popping up the tag on our textured background. And then I'm going to glue some greenery. So you got to kind of figure out where you want it to go and how you want to angle your little swag here. So, and I want to put just a dot on the end so that you can kind of manipulate your greenery and tilt it and bend it and all that jazz. You don't want to overdo it, but you also don't want to be stingy. A couple of 3D foam squares on the Cardinal, and I'm just going to perch it. I'm going to perch it, and then some little slivers of foam tape strategically placed behind the Joy so you don't see it, and I'm angling that. Angling it keeps it trendy and hip. That's a trick of the trade. I just made that up, but let's go with it. Okay, pop this whole thing up on a white card base. And then I forgot, not that you have to, but it does look nice if you finish off the tag. Either tie a bow or some twine. I pulled this out. I believe this is Simon Says Stamp black and white twine, and I'm threading it. Here's the thing I love to do is come from the back. Come from the back, and then you get that nice little loopy-doo. You get the loopy-doo, trim it, and then which way you want to go, to the left, to the right. Hang the strings to the left or hang them to the right. Either way, it's going to look great. There you have it. Several different new die sets and an embossing folder from the new Sugar and Spice collection. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.